You know what I thought of? I go to the movies every week, so I have to tell you guys what I think. I am back to do another movie review. The movie that I just recently went to go see. If you love action, then this is a movie that you need to see. It is so good, you guys. I'm telling you. Another movie review. I was happy to be at home this time because I've been trying to take you guys out with me every time I go do something, but it was a little harder this time going to see the new Batman. Now, the new Batman did come out this past weekend, and I have so much to tell you guys about it. Now, after watching this review, if you do like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more of my reviews, please so graciously hit that subscribe so you'll never miss any of my reviews. Now, let me go ahead and just hop right into it. Batman was crazy. It is so chaotic. It was so many people coming out to see it. I mean, it grossed like over 250 million worldwide. That is the most they've done for a post-pandemic movie, and especially a movie of this kind. So, you know, it was people everywhere. And I try to have respect for people, not trying to film them, because everybody don't want to be in your camera. They don't know what you're going to do with their picture. So I try to be respectable, and I had to go find a good theater because unfortunately the theaters around me I'm not really liking. I have to make sure that I have full comfort. It has to be a full recline. I have to be able to go all the way back with my recliner. I need to make sure I have space. I also need to make sure that they can bring me my things by having a little button on the side. I need all those perks. I need all of those qualifications to go see a movie. And also I need D-Box. And if you guys don't know what D-Box is, you guys have not lived to see a movie. This movie is 3 hours and I needed to make sure that I stayed awake because D-Box it shakes and moves with the movie, kind of like a ride at Universal Studios or something, but it is the best thing since sliced bread that has come to the theater. So if you haven't did it, you better make sure you check out D-Box at one of your local theaters. So we're gonna hop right into the Batman. Now, I know it's probably been a lot of reviews. I don't have a lot of spoiler alerts. I have maybe a little bit of spoiler alerts, but I'm going to mostly talk about the actors, the character, and my urban style feeling on what I think about the movie. And the reason why I threw urban in there is because, you know, I have to tell you some tea, a little bit of gossip. You know, Zoe Kravitz played in this, and she plays Simone, I believe it's like Simone Lau or something. Simone Kyle, okay? Selena Kyle, that's it, Selena Kyle. And she's also AKA, you know, Catwoman, you know, as soon as she puts on her little mask. But the thing about it, she has come out in Variety magazine and she talked about how she was not able to even audition for the role in Dark Knight because they said she looked too urban. I mean, if Zoe Kravitz looks too urban, I don't know. I really don't know at this point because she does not look too urban. And you know what too urban means? Too ghetto, too black. So something like that is just really unfortunate. But you know what? Those are the things that we deal with in Hollywood. Look at me talking about we deal with Hollywood. Hopefully, I will probably be dealing with those things in Hollywood. But outside of that, that is something that I thought was really, really crazy when I heard about that. But you know what? We don't know. It could have been bad luck on the set. I don't know. Anyway, we'll just leave that alone. But yes, this is my urban perspective on what I think about the new Batman. So let's jump right in and just let me tell you that I was excited. I was really excited to see a Batman that had Robert Pattinson, you know how I am with pronouncing things. I was happy to see a movie with him in it. The last movie I seen with him in it was Tenet. And that's the movie about the little thingies that do the thingy and go backwards in time and stuff like that. But everybody knows him from the Twilight movies, from the Twilight saga. And I just wanted to see him. I haven't really seen him in a lot of things since then. And I just really wanted to see how he was going to play Batman. Because let's keep it real. You guys, we have seen a lot of Batmans over the years. We really have. from the beginning, Michael Keaton, all the way down to Val Kilmer. We have seen a lot of Batman, so I definitely wanted to see how Matt Reeves was going to take this movie. Now, Matt Reeves is the person that did all of the Planet of the Apes movies, basically the War of Planet of the Apes, and I thought that movie was just okay. I thought it was just okay. Nothing is going to be exactly like how you remember it. And if you're not a producer or director, you don't know their vision sometimes. So I wanted to kind of go in with an open mind and see what, how it's going to be. That's what I wanted to do. And I will start off by saying I give it about a 7 minus. And it's for a lot of reasons. So let me hurry up and jump into it. I keep saying that, but it's going to take some time to get through this. So it's not going to take 3 hours, but you're going to have to really sit down and listen to this review. Now, let's start off with the characters. You have some heavy hitters inside of this movie. You have definitely Jeffrey Wright. He plays James Gordon. He plays the main detective who's working with Batman. You have Colin Farrell. He plays the Penguin. Completely unrecognizable. Completely unrecognizable. Why they chose Colin Farrell it has to be because of his acting, because he is completely unrecognizable. The special effects are definitely not the special effects. The makeup artist that was able to transform him and some of the other celebrities is just amazing. It's just really amazing because there is no way you could tell that is Colin Farrell playing the Penguin. So then you also have Paul Dunn. He played the Riddler. And then I already told you about Zoe Kravitz. We know that she is Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz's daughter. So I just was a little disappointed because they took the character so far to the left. I mean, if Penguin, I can understand Penguin. I've seen Danny DeVito's Penguin, and he was looks like a real penguin, like a nasty just slob. So I didn't expect him to be like with the little glass eye and the little cane and the top hat. I didn't expect that, but I didn't expect him to be like just hideous with scars on his face. I kind of was not looking for that. So in Penguin, I was just like, And then the main complaint that I have a lot of complaints. Of course, I'm a woman. I have a lot of complaints. But one of the main ones that I had is how you did Riddler. No, I don't expect Riddler to look like Jim Carrey, like with the little unitard on, with the question marks, and the red hair. I don't expect him to look like that. Or even the Marvel's version of him or the DC's version of him. He does still have like a little hat on, even though he looks like a kind of a monster, grotesque type of looking thing. He still looked like he had, what am I trying to say? It was colorful. That is the thing about it. It was colorful. And I think that him being the Riddler in this was very disturbing. I did not like how they depicted the Riddler in this movie with him wearing that thing over his face, with him looking completely scary, like one of those characters from Star Wars back in the day or Empire Strikes Back in the day. I did not like how they did that with the Riddler. Another thing I did not like is the fact that how Batman was. Batman in this movie, I feel they're trying to resurrect who Batman is. I feel like Batman does not get a lot of respect. A lot of times people say, how can he be a superhero and he has no superpowers? I can see where they're going with that because I've always thought kind of the same thing. I have sons. I've thought kind of the same thing. He doesn't have superpowers. However, he has gadgets and he has this, this suit that protects him from head to toe, and he has money. He's Bruce Wayne. But in this movie, he was a complete scary type of vigilante that people just hated, they really did not like him. And I'm talking about the public. It's kind of like in Hancock. Remember, Hancock started off wanting to do good by helping and stopping crime, but yet he didn't get that type of response from everybody. Everybody wasn't as appreciative of what he was trying to do. And I think that is what's going on with Batman. And, they quickly show you that. They show you that when they put up that sign to call him, they are not calling him. They're actually sending a warning to all the criminals that you better stop your activity because he is going to beat you up. He's not going to beat you up. He's going to knock your block off. He's going to beat you down. He's going to give you a beat down like you've never been beat down before. You know, your weapons, nothing is good for him, but nothing can hurt him, let's say. But they try. They definitely try in this movie. But going back to him as a character, I feel that I've always been used to Batman having more of a personality. Even though he is a superhero, he is the Dark Knight. He is something that comes out at night, you know, mysterious. You know, I feel that they made him just this complete scary type of thing. Like, okay, for example, this is a little thing, spoiler alert for you, but he's rescuing, that's me, like Bugs Bunny over here, Daffy Duck. He's rescuing, why can I not say that? He's saving somebody from being beat up. And after he beats the living crap out of these people, you know, the victim is scared. He's like, please don't hurt me. You know, that should show you right there. He is a scary dude. He's like the Debo of Gotham City. And if you don't know who Debo is, I can't help you with that. You need to watch Friday. But anyway, he gives criminals the business. He is just this force to be reckoned with no personality. He's there to do business. You know, you have people that don't respect him. You have people on the police force that don't respect him. You have people that call him a freak, you know, because he doesn't really go into the Bruce Wayne like you usually see. Bruce Wayne is a savvy type of man that, you know, dates these models, and then his secret identity is Batman. Whereas this identity, he was in his Batman suit like all the time. When he's going to check out clues and things to find out about a crime, he is in his Batman outfit like all the time. So, you know, people are talking about how Robert Pattinson, they're talking about, oh, he's skinny and stuff like that. He probably lost weight in that suit because he wore that a lot. The other thing I did not like about it, like I said, he didn't have a personality. He kind of, the way he was spoken, the way he spoke was always like, kind of like this. Like, I am to be a force to be reckoned with. Like, vengeance is, they didn't bring any life to it in that way. They didn't bring a personality behind it. Even though he's narrating, he's telling a story. Even though he's telling the story, I still didn't feel that, I just felt they could have did him differently. And that could be because I'm used to seeing the previous Batman act a certain way. So I had to get over myself and, okay, this is how they're going to portray Batman. However, he gave me kind of that feeling like the Crow with the makeup. He is like the Crow. They have that makeup around his eyes and then the white makeup, and I just felt like he was just really scary type of guy even without his makeup. And I am used to seeing, you know, Robert Peterson, we're just gonna call him Robert. I'm used to seeing him look like that in that makeup because he's been a vampire for years. He's been a vampire, okay? So to have him wear that with the dark circles around his eyes and stuff, even when the Batman costume was off and he's just talking, I felt like it was unnecessary. I felt like I couldn't see him. I felt like I'm still scared. So if that's what they wanted to portray, then Matt Reeves did a good job of doing that because I'm scared even when he didn't have the Batman costume on. Now, this movie, I don't know how they were able to get it a PG-13 because it is a lot of violence in it. It is scary. It is dark. It is like a 7 mixed in with a Saw. You know, you got Jigsaw, like, you know, pulling some corners. It feels like you have people running around in Gotham. And, you know, Gotham is a freaky place anyway, but you have people running around Gotham looking like some, you know, scary Jabberwockies or something. It is so much of this darkness that is going into this DC comic. And the fact that it is PG-13, I do feel that children are impressionable, even a 13-year-old. It depends on how, mature this 13-year-old is to even see something like this, because it just is a really dark movie, a dark and scary movie with dark humor. And I do believe that they chose the right person on him. I don't think he gave enough life to the character for me. I do not feel that he gave enough to me. And in DC Comics, DC is a darker type of comic. It is not the MCU type of comedy that we're used to, or storylines that we're used to, or the type of environment that we're kind of used to, where at some points you're going to get a little bit of comic relief, you're going to get a little bit of fun in there, and that is not what this movie is. This movie, you got to be comfortable and you have to stay engaged. That is, I think, was the biggest thing. I'm glad I was smart to get the D-Box, because it shakes you. The D-Box shakes you every time something goes on in the movie. So that, if I was dozing off, I'm woke back up, because of the D-Box. But you have to stay engaged. And I felt like a lot of times they could have easily cut this movie off when they found out who it was. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I just feel that they elaborated a little too much. They gave too much of a backstory, and I felt like they just kept lingering on and on to where you were unsure of where is this movie going. I mean, it even when they do solve the crime of who's doing the murders or whatever the case is. Look, my hair is it's all extra long. I had to have my long black Batman hair. But I think even after that, they just kept going with the movie. It's like the person that edits the movie, he didn't want to edit anything. He wanted to show everything. And I think that that's unfortunate, because to be over it. You know how sometimes you're like, stick a fork in me, I'm done. That's how I felt, because I have been in Gotham a little too long now. Now it is completely different, which is fine. I just felt like it was really like I was there just too long, and like I said, it is scary. It is super dark. It's definitely, I'll be scared if I seen Batman. So I think they were trying to bring him into another light. He is completely scary. He is completely a beast. When he walks in the room, he commands that room, his presence, that suit, everything about it. When I didn't like that they didn't even really touch on Bruce Wayne. And then another thing I didn't like, another bing, spoiler alert, is that I didn't like the relationship between Alfred and Batman, Bruce Wayne. He was almost like a spoiled little kid, like, leave me alone. You don't know me. You're not my dad. Okay, but Alfred's been taking care of you and guiding you for a very long time. You have Batman, okay, and he's been saving people for some years, okay? He is exhausted. No matter what he does, it's always going to be crime. It's always going to be people trying to stop crime, and he's exhausted. The inner part of him is just dead now. That's why he doesn't care about making friends and being friendly with people. He just wants to, rid the world of crime, but yet he's also exhausted from doing it. So, that is the main thing about this Batman, and that is how he is. I think that if you go to this movie, I want you to go with an open mind, knowing that it's not going to be the familiar characters that you've seen previously. And I don't know if I would take my kids. Yes, it says PG-13, but who really listens to that? I would have taken my older son, who's 23 now, because he's a little bit more worldly. My 9-year-old would have been terrified and scared because he's a little more sheltered. So I wouldn't have definitely taken any children. I do think, single woman thoughts on it, but that is how I feel. I felt that it was sometimes violence that wasn't even necessary. And then sometimes I felt like he was bad. He was getting it. He was mollywhopping. You guys know I have told you what mollywhopping is. He was mollywhopping these criminals, but when you're hurting them so bad, you got the victim scared, then, that's a bit much. That's a bit much. So go ahead and check it out. Like I said, I give it a 7-. And until then, I'll see you next time.